very good morning to all our viewers and welcome to the AM News on Global Television, live in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. I am Judith Peters. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has recalled all the ambassadors, both career and non-career. This was stated by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Yusuf Tuga, through his media aide, Akalsim Abdul Kadri. On Saturday, the former President Muhammadu Buhari had in July 2020 appointed 41 non-career ambassadors and 42 career ambassadors to man the nation's foreign diplomatic mission. The diplomats were deployed after they were confirmed by the Senate in accordance with Section 1712, 1C and subsection 4 of the 1999 Constitution. The statement confirming the recall of the ambassador's state sequel to the inquiries on the later recalling the Nigerian ambassador to the UK. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Yusuf Maitama Tuga, has clarified that all career ambassadors and non-career ambassadors have been recalled on the instruction of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Ambassadors also, as representatives of the country, serve at the behest of the President and its prerogative to send or recall them from any country. Also, the President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has approved the immediate replacement of the NDDC's Ondo State Representative nominee, Mr. Victor Akinjo, with a new Ondo State Representative nominee, Honorable Otito Atikase. The President has equally approved the immediate replacement of the NDDC's Cross River State Representative nominee, Mr. Asi Oku Okang, with a new Cross River State Representative, Honorable Orok Otuk Duke. Furthermore, the immediate past Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of the NDDC, Dr. Samuel Ogbuku, is reappointed to a second term and will remain in acting capacity pending the Senate's confirmation of his reappointment. Also, the President on Friday in Abuja declared his unwavering support for partnership between the Federal Ministry of Health's National Eye Health Program and the Peak Vision Foundation to provide more than 5 million pairs of eyeglasses to Nigerians with sight impairment. According to a statement by presidential spokesman Andrew Ngali, the President recounted how close to home his first intervention in eye health was as he made a pledge on behalf of the federal government during a courtesy visit by the founder and the CEO of Peak Vision Foundation and co-founder of the Vision Catalyst Fund, Professor Andre Batalwars, highlighting the pressing need for improved eye health services in Nigeria. President Tinubu expressed concern about the more than 24 million Nigerians grappling with varying degrees of vision impairment. At the end of the event, the coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Mohammed Ali Patel, was joined by the coordinator of the National Eye Health Program, Dr. Oteri Okolo, and the Director of Public Health, Dr. Chukuma Anyeke, as he presented a national policy document on eye health to the President. Vice President Kashim Shettima says poor governance has a direct bearing on the spread of banditry and kidnapping in the northwest geopolitical zone of the country. Shettima spoke when he hosted the Coalition of Northern States Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, COSIMA, at the Presidential Villa in Abuja. The coalition was led by its president, Dahatu Abubakar. The vice president said re-engineering, re-strategizing affairs, the North is necessary to project the region into accelerated development. Shettima says stakeholders in the entire North have to go back to the drawing board, reassess the state of affairs in the region and come up with a robust platform for re-engineering Nigerian society. The Labour Congress will begin a two-day warning strike on September 5th, 2023, in preparation for a total shutdown which will start in 21st days. The decision was taken at the end of its National Executive Council meeting, which was held in the early hours of Friday. A communique released by the Labour Center and jointly signed by its national president, Joe Ajero, and secretary, Emmanuel Okwaje, said it's decided to take the decision following the failure of the Tinubu government to enter into dialogue and engage stakeholders within the organized labor on effort to cushion the effect of the removal of subsidy on petrol motor spirit, popularly known as petrol. the poor masses already. The organized labor had in August staged a one-day protest which grounded activities in major cities across the country. While listing some of the other reasons why it will mobilize its members for the nationwide showdown, the center accused the Nigeria police of laying siege to the national headquarters of the National Union of Road Transport Workers, alleged exploitation of the rights of workers in Imo State, interference in trade union matters by the Abia State government, proposed demolition by the new Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, among others. Still on the news, the federal government has said that it would decentralize fire response centers by opening up more response points equipped with fire trucks to cut down emergency response time. Minister of Interior Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo made this known during a familiarization visit to the national headquarters of the Federal Fire Service, FFS, in Abuja. He said the FFS, as a key agency safeguarding the lives and property of Nigerians, must be able to respond to emergencies within the shortest possible time because the fire accident and related emergencies can work massive havoc within a very short time. Controller General FFS Abdul Ganiu Jaji said the service is bedeviled by attacks on firefighters, by the public, a staff housing deficit, budgetary constraints, and the need for a befitting national headquarters. Jaji appealed the minister to keep the renewed hope agenda by bringing fire service closer to the people, thereby decreasing response time, which is one of their major challenges. And now the Borno State Governor Babangana Zulum has congratulated Vice President Kashim Shettima on his 57th birthday, describing him as a great and humble mentor whose type is very difficult to find. Zulum posted the birthday message at midnight on Friday via Facebook. According to him, Shettima is a mentor who gives his mentees real opportunity to define themselves. Also, the Federal Road Safety Corps Ondo State Command said 2 people died while 5 others were injured in an accident on Friday night in the Olukuta area of Akure Ondo Road. The sector commander of FRSC and the state, Mr. Ezekiel Sonala, confirmed the incident to the news agency of Nigeria in a telephone interview on Saturday. Sonala, who expressed that the accident occurred at about 5:48 p.m., said it involved 6 male adults and 1 female adult. The sector commander attributed the cause of the crash, which involved 1 commercial vehicle and a Honda Accord car, to speeding. A Nissan Primera commercial vehicle marked FGB 96XA and a Honda car marked MWX 834AL were involved in the above accident. Niger State Governor Mohammed Umar Bago has added 200 million naira to 5 billion loan from the federal government as palliative, making it 5.2 billion naira to be distributed to 270 wards in the state, even as he warns that any official who diverts the palliative will go to jail. He said at a news conference yesterday in Mina that the amount given was a loan on which the state and local government would pay back 52% and the federal government 48%. He said all former and serving top government officials would be involved in the distribution to the ward, and each ward would get 10 million naira except in Mina and Suleja, where each ward would get 20 million naira. He also said a 3-day public holiday for the distribution of palliative to all 25 local government council in the state would commence on Wednesday. As part of efforts to cushion the effect of fuel subsidy removal on the resident, the Sokoto government has embarked about 4 billion naira on food items to be distributed across the various local government areas. Briefing newsmen at the council chamber after the maiden state executive council meeting on Friday, the commissioner for religious affairs, Sheikh Jabir Mahula, said the state governor Ahmed Aliyu has approved the purchase of items to be distributed. According to the commissioner, the state executive council members in its inaugural meeting have approved the purchase of 57,000 bags of 50 kg rice at a cost of 2.508 billion naira. The council also approved the purchase of another 26,000 bags of 100 kg millet at a cost of 1.438 30 billion naira. Jabir also said the said items also include another 44,000 bags of maize, which will be purchased by the state government in conjunction with the federal government. He explained that the governor would, however, set up a committee that would monitor the distribution of the foodstuff across the 23 local government area of the state. Meanwhile, in order to make transport easier for people, the State Executive Council also approved the purchase of 50 18-seater Toyota Hiace buses, 2022 model, at a cost of 2.8 billion naira. You're watching the AM News, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across our social media platform using our Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your TV screen. We'll be back with more stories for you after this break. Please stay with us. Welcome back, and if you're just joining us, it's Global Television bringing you live broadcast of the AM News from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Back to the news. Chairman of the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms, Taiwo Oyedele, said Nigeria has lost over 6 trillion naira to tax waivers. He said instead of granting tax waivers to businesses, the government should create more enabling environment for businesses to thrive and pay more taxes. Taiwo told journalists that if Nigerians were paying the right taxes, the nation would have gotten extra 20 trillion naira from tax collection annually. The current administration has said it would introduce tax reforms to phase out multiple tax systems and ensure Nigeria has a fair, convenient and equitable tax system. The minister said government has planned for economic growth, job creation, access to capital, particularly consumer credits that makes goods affordable to the ordinary Nigerians. He said the focus is on inclusivity, women, youth, and making all have the opportunity to come to the table and contribute to the growth of the economy and society, and likewise by focusing on security, rule of law, and anti-corruption. It tends to create a fairer and safer playing field for all. And the move by the Tertiary Education Trust Fund to attract major international research grants to Nigeria's scholar has received a massive boost as the European Union has committed to provide 440,000 euros to support shortlisted research teams in the country under the Horizon Europe project. Tokbe Togun, who heads TETFRON's team on the Horizon Europe program, made this known while briefing the Executive Secretary of TETFRON, Sonny Ochono, on ongoing efforts to ensure Nigerian researchers' participation in the globally renowned research project. According to a statement released on Friday in Abuja, Togun, who briefed the TETFRON's board alongside another member of the team, Ayo Ajayi, identified the inability of Nigerian researchers to organize and prepare sufficiently for the Horizon project as one of the major impediments that prevented them from accessing the grant. Hence, the decision of TETFRON to set up the team in order to clear all the hurdles on its part. The TETFRON Executive Secretary said the agency is fully committed to ensuring Nigerian researchers are competitive in the international arena, adding that the fund is also targeting other global research bodies to attract grants for scholars in the country. Tension between Paris and Niamey continue to mount as officials in Niger push for France's ambassadors to be expelled from the country after stripping him of diplomatic immunity on Friday. The authorities gave Ambassador Sylvain 48 hours to leave the country. The deadline was rejected by Paris, which does not recognize the government installed after a military coup in July. Faced by paucity of funds, rumors arrive that the junta is seeking to obtain liquidity by any means, not hesitating to use force. The Sunny Bank of Niamey was alleged to have been forced to give 500 million West African francs to the purchase, who then financed the demonstration on August 6 at the same country stadium. There are fears that if the financial difficulties persist, the junta could also be tempted to seize private bank accounts under false pretenses. Niger Republic has slipped further into socio-economic turmoil following the removal of President Mohamed Bazoum on July 26, with the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, now demanding his immediate and unconditional reinstatement. Also, still in the foreign scene, Indian Space Agency takes aim at another milestone Saturday with the launch of a probe to study the sun. A week after its successful unmanned landing on the moon, Adia L1 will carry scientific instrument to observe the sun out animals layers blasting off at 11:50 a.m. for its 4-month journey. The United States and the European Space Agency have sent numerous probes to the center of the solar system, beginning with NASA's Prana program in the 1960s. But if successful, the latest mission from the Indian Space Research Organization will be the first by any Asian nation to be placed in solar orbit. Tharman Shanmugaratnam, former Singapore Deputy Prime Minister, has been elected to the ceremonial post of President. According to official results in an election seen at a barometer of public sentiment towards the ruling party amid economic challenges, the election department on Friday declared the 66-year-old economist as the winner over two rival candidates after scoring 70.4% of votes. Shanmugaratnam, a longtime leader of the ruling People's Action Party, PAP, resigned from the government and the party ahead of the first contested presidential election in more than a decade, while the presidency is a largely ceremonial, non-partisan. Polls under the Constitution, political lines were already drawn ahead of Friday's election to replace incumbent Halima Yacob, who ran unopposed for a 6-year term in 2017. The city's state government is run by the Prime Minister, currently Lee Hsien-loong of the PAP, a party that has ruled Singapore continuously since 1959. And now in sport, Minister for Sport John Enoh has said in Lagos that his administration has endorsed the concession of the National Stadium in Surulere, as well as other stadiums nationwide, to private individuals who will help to revamp and maintain them. On his first official inspection of facilities at the National Stadium Surulere, stated that the deplorable state of the stadium moved him to tears, adding that the only way to rescue the facility is through a governmental-private sector partnership. Enoh also emphasized the need to work closely with special athletes who have won many laurels for the country at international engagements, saying that he intends to grow sport at the grassroots by introducing youth competition in different sports, with emphasis on areas like Ajegule and other densely populated communities that have abandoned talent. And that's it on the OAM News, live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across our social media platform using our Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your TV screen. On behalf of the production team, I am Judith Peters. Thank you so very much for watching, and have a great day ahead of you. Good morning.